What is going on, my New York Giants family? YouTube, what is going on? We are live on Twitter. I got the whole Big Blue crew with me. I got Classified Joel to my right, Big Pat Sports Talk to the bottom. We got the Legend G Nation to the bottom right, man. I appreciate every single one of you in here, man. How y'all feeling, man? Thank you for being on the show, for real.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be alive. Any day above ground's a great day. So
Facts, man.
That's
Man,
right.
I'm
When you get
doing
to
good, man.
mow the grass instead of fertilize it, that's a bonus right there.
Unless you fish it. Unless you fish it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh
Oh,
man.
man.
uh,
Man, it's
oh,
gonna be a good day today, man.
Wales, what's
I
up?
already started off very good today. Shout out to Mac, the Giants fan. Had so much fun doing the elimination chamber with him, man.
Hell yeah.
Go tune into that, man. That man's gonna have a video over 20,000 views. Big Blue Crew, we're coming, man.
Yes,
We're
right.
coming.
sir. We on the way, baby. I'm so excited, man. The vibes are gonna be great today. Let me just get to the chat real quick. We got Mac, the Giants fan, Mark, the Blue Giant. I appreciate you always showing love, man. For real. We got D Matt Warrior. We got Giant Opinion Sports, my brother. What is going on, man? We got Super Taj in here.
Taj in the building.
We got Wales up in
Uh,
here.
Wales.
Appreciate you, man. We got CJ Talks Movies. What's going on, brother? Hope you're doing
CJ, what's
well.
going on, CJ?
Yes, sir. We got Jaden in here. We got quite a few people in here, man. I'm not even
Yes.
gonna lie. What's going
I got
on,
I
man?
got I got one little announcement for everybody. Super Ties, honorary member of the Big Blue Crew. Man, he put out that Tom and Jerry thing in the Big Blue Crew chat last night.
That was
That
funny,
shit was
man.
hilarious. If you start your TikTok, please let me know so we can push them up because that shit was funny as hell.
Yeah, man. That was.
I
I'm not gonna lie. That had me laughing. I'm not gonna lie, man.
I had to tell him to
Uh,
go to sleep, man. He doing too much.
I saw that. I saw that, and I was like, "What the hell is Pat talking about?" And I clicked it, and Taj, you a fool with that one. I can't hold you, man. That was a funny video, man. We got CJ Talks Movie saying, "What's up to Pat, man?"
What's going
Let's
on,
get
C?
into this, man. Let's get
CJ look like
into
my cousin
this.
Eric. Yeah,
Hey, yo,
CJ might be
CJ.
related to me.
I was about to say, CJ, you might have a cousin up in this stream, man. I got my dad to the right on the bottom, G Nation.
yeah.
All right, so
Big Poppy. Big
oh,
Poppy.
I can't. We got the beans in the chat. All right, man. Listen. We got quite a few to talk about today, man. It's gonna be a really good show. We're gonna talk about free agency coming up. I know we got the combine coming up as well. So best believe all of these guys here, Joel, Big Pat, G Nation, we got you covered. All things New York Giants. If you guys don't know, Lou also does leather to the face. Big Pat, he does excellent mock drafts. Joel got you on everything that you need, man. So please subscribe to them. Their links are in the bio right now, so you can go click and subscribe to them, man. But let's get into this. So, look, quite a few of you guys have been messaging me on Twitter. I put out a tweet. I wanted to get some of your guys' questions for the Giants and Friends show, just so that we could be more interactive with you guys. And you guys gave me some great questions. You wanted me to get my thoughts on some free agency topics, and we're gonna break it down here, man. And what better way to do it with the Big Blue crew? So we're gonna start off with the first question here. Now, this was in regards to an article. Now, mind you, take this for what you will. Now, this is in regards to Dalton Schultz. He is a tight end for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, before we even get into this, I know we're going to have people in the chat saying, look, we don't got cap space. We don't have cap space. Well, we already know that they're going to try to create 40 million. And when you look at 2023, once we sign all of our players, we have $90 million in free money right there to use. How we use it, obviously, that's going to be up to the GM, Joe Shane, and what we do in this offseason. But when we look at this offseason right now, I could see potentially them signing maybe one player that you could consider a splash move and pushing some money to 2023. But we're going to start it off with Dalton Schultz, man. He is coming off of a serious injury. The article states that Dallas will not be picking up his contract Again, with that injury, they are projected to pick up a tight end in the second round. So, with them, I think they're going to be rolling in with 2 tight ends, maybe one on the practice squad. They're going to be in the market for one. Now, the question here is hit squad. Dalton Schultz, do you think that he is a fit in Brian Dable's offense? What do you guys think, man? I mean, I know we are pretty familiar with him as Giants fans. For years, we can't cover a tight end to save our lives. And he's had quite a few good games against us, man. So I want to get your thoughts on him and potentially us signing him to the Big Blue.
Who you want to start? Hit.
Let's start it with Joel, man. We'll start it with
Okay.
Joel, go to Lou, go to Pat, and then I'll give my thoughts on it.
All right.
I don't know. You want to sign another tight end for $6-8 million because that's what it's going to run. I mean, look at Rudolph. Look what he costs, $6 million a year, and he's past his prime, like way past his prime. He did have some good plays for us, but this draft is so heavy in tight ends. There's like 10 of them. There's like 11 tight ends that are going to be available in this draft. You got Jeremy Ruckert from Ohio State, Jake Ferguson from Wisconsin, who I'm looking at the draft board right now. He has moved up 20 spots already. He's up to 119. Ruckert's at 117. So that's right there about the end of the second, third round right in there. That's 2 of the top tight ends right now. You're going to be able to get them on the cheap. You're going to be able to get guys that that aren't past their prime. They're young. They're going to be talented. I see Shane wanting to do more of that than anything else. There is going to be a need for free agency, and I just think that spending that money on the O-line, especially with the way this draft is starting to look like, because it's looking like there's 3 tackles. After that, it drops off. There's 1 center. Then it looks like it drops off. And then there's offensive linemen, and then that drops off. And so there's not that many of them there. And it's almost like that they're getting hyped up. And now they're starting to get talked down because Neal's dropping. He was the census number 1. So as far as tight ends, I really don't see us going into the free agency market looking at anybody. I think that these guys are going to want a homegrown in draft and bring in the talent that they want to do and finally get it to the point where we're not even really looking at free agency anymore and just re-signing our players.
Yeah, that's a good point there, man. That is definitely a good point. I do want to get to this comment before I let you go, G Nation. Jonathan Studio says, "Didn't we do this last year with the Vikings tight end?" Yeah, we did, but I mean, and I thought that honestly, what's it called? D-Mac Warrior said it best, man. I see what you're saying with that, but for me, man, I mean, Dalton Schultz is only 25 years old, so he's still young, and he is a hell of a lot more athletic than Kyle Rudolph ever will be. I mean, that's really how I feel about him personally. But I'm gonna let you go, G Nation. I just want to get that comment out there.
All right. So, am I answering the comment?
Oh no. Your thoughts on Dalton Schultz and potentially?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of anything coming from Dallas, as we all know. The last time we tried that, we got Jason Garrett, and as we all know, that didn't work out too well for us, did it?
That's true, man. That's
I'm
true.
not a fan of anything from Dallas. I don't want a Schultz. I don't want a Schultz malt liquor. I don't want a Schultz tight end. I believe Kyle Rudolph sucks. I would like to get rid of him. We can possibly draft a tight end. I don't want anything from Dallas. Period. I don't think it's a good move. I don't care if he's 25 or 35. They can keep him. They can do whatever the hell they want with him. Don't send him here.
Okay. I like that. How
Sorry
you feel?
to be so brash, but
No. I like that. Keep it real, man. I like that shit. Pat, how you feeling, man? What you thinking about Dalton Schultz?
I'm feeling almost the exact same way as Lou. He's going to be worth more than $6 to $7 million a year. He's going to be upwards of 10 to 11 million a year because tight ends. He had a very good year, and he's shown that he can be a top tight end in this league. And I don't think Joe Shane is willing to pony up the money for a tight end where there's 20 tight ends you could take in this draft. Like I said in the chat, don't mean to poo-poo the idea or anything, but it just doesn't make sense to have so many tight ends in the draft that you can draft, but you go turn around and use 10 million. So let's just say in the first year, 6 million of your 40 million on the tight end, when there's plenty of tight ends in the draft that I think that will be better than Dalton Schultz. And he's coming off an injury. Now that report about the Cowboys are not re-signing them.
Sorry, Pat. CJ, I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm just saying he's not a good player for us. One, he comes from Dallas. Two, he's coming from an injury. We have enough injury history prone players on our team. And we can get another tight end for cheaper in the draft. So I'm not knocking the man's talent. I just don't want him here.
Yes, and like I was saying, it doesn't make sense to waste over 12% of your cap that you just got on the tight end, where you got Rucker, you got Kolar, you got the tight end from Virginia Tech, tight end from Virginia, Colorado State, Nevada. Man, you got about 20 tight ends that's draftable in this draft. So
right,
absolutely,
I don't understand spending almost 12% of your cap on Dalton Schultz, who's coming off an injury. Yes, he's a veteran. Yes, he's a good player, but I haven't seen reports about the Cowboys not wanting to re-sign him. I find that hard to believe because that's Dak's security blanket. So I think he will be a Dallas Cowboy coming this year up, and not to shame him like he ain't a good tight end. Yeah, I don't remember Schultz getting hurt either, but if he is, he's coming off an injury. I'm not saying that he's not a good tight end, but I just don't think that's the route that the new regime will go. But Dalton Schultz is a good tight end. And we probably be good here, but I think we could get a Dalton Schultz tight end in the 4th to 5th round, to be honest with you, because this tight end is so lucrative. And I mean, this draft is so lucrative in tight ends coming up. So
Jeremy Ruckert.
He's a solid tight end as well.
Weidemeyer, Kolar, I mean,
Ferguson.
Man, there's so many tight ends in this draft, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely a deep tight end class. Especially if we just talking about free agency, it's a deep class. Definitely is it's a deep class. I mean, you got Njoku out there, Gesicki. I know that Giant Opinion Sports have mentioned him, but for me personally, man, I've been saying I wanted us to double on tight end in the 3rd round. Now, with the wide receiver position, I kind of see them taking one and then taking a wide receiver in the 3rd round, possibly, instead of them doubling up on the tight end. I do think that we are going to need 2 tight ends, in my opinion, because you think about it. I mean, Toilolo's gone. Ingram is most likely gone. I mean, it's not for sure, but he's most likely gone. On top of that, Kyle Rudolph, if we're looking to, save some money, he has to be gone, in my opinion.
I think Caden Smith is gone too.
I think he's gone too, and I personally want to keep that kid. I can't lie. I thought, the connection him and Jones had was pretty solid, in my opinion. Now it's just going to come down to how do they approach, free agency. Again, for me, man, I think we're all kind of in the same boat. I'm not knocking the kid's talent. I think that he's a very talented kid, but for me, man, it wouldn't make sense to go out there and and sign a big player like that in free agency when you can get one on the low in the draft, especially it being a stacked draft. So definitely appreciate the question on Twitter, man. Thank you so much. Now we got another question here. It says, Hit Squad, I see that Jerry Hughes has been linked to the Giants as of late. What are your thoughts on the veteran? We could potentially get him on a 1-year deal. He is on the later half of his career at 33 years old. Yeah, he's 33 years old. So I mean, I'll start this off, and then I'll have it go to Pat, and then we'll go to Lou, and then Joel. I actually wouldn't mind Jerry Hughes, personally. I think it would have to make sense in terms of a contract, but for me, man, I mean, he's been competent. I think that, when you look at really where they drafted him, I believe they selected him in the 1st round, the Indianapolis Colts in the 2010 draft. Has he lived up to that 1st round pick? I think that's debatable. But I think that if we're looking at scheme wise, or if we're just looking at depth, I don't think that it would hurt to bring him in. I mean, he has 58 sacks right now in his career. So I think that we could definitely use the depth. And if it makes sense price wise, I actually wouldn't mind it. I think that, Wink could get a lot out of that guy. But how are you feeling about Jerry Hughes, Pat?
Okay, we're gonna go in reverse right here. Okay, well,
yes, sir. Switch it
Jerry
up.
Hughes, he's 33 years old.
Hit Squad was a great Uno player. He just threw that shit in reverse.
Yes, sir. I'm more of a dominoes guy, but you right. You right.
Oh man, I love some dominoes, bro.
Mexican train dominoes. I love that game.
But as far as the Giants, as far as the Giants signing someone 33 and above this offseason, I do think they'll sign probably one guy just to bring some veteran leadership to the team. But I think they're really going to go with the youth movement that we already have here and bring in their old guys through the draft and bring in some younger guys through free agency. Jerry Hughes, you got to think he's going to be playing in Wink system. It's not the Bill system that have consistently 4 to 5 people across the defensive line. I think he could do it, but I think we have players on this team that can play his role just as good, and they're way younger. I mean, you got Ojulari, you got Roche, and Ellerson Smith. If Jerry Hughes is brought over, is because they want to bring him over because he was a former Bill and basically for good leadership. I don't see him carving out a major role in this defense, being that he's 33. But who knows? I wouldn't be against it, but it has to be lucrative to the team. I can't sign a Jerry Hughes for $8 to $10 million. I don't think the Giants have enough cap space to do that. So
Giants Opinion Sports says, look at Hughes' pass rush win rate the last few years, still top five
in the NFL.
He has been.
Yeah, he's still good. But I think Wink runs a totally different system, so I don't know how he would fit in Wink's system. We can't just bring guys in just because they have a high PFF rank and not bring them in based on the system.
Buffalo guys, it would be offensive because of Dable. But if you want to bring in defensive guys, it would more likely be from the Ravens if you're looking free agency for veteran leadership for this defensive system that he's going to bring here. Because these guys are coming from Patrick Graham's defense. So it's going to be a total switch
going on, Rodney?
Of the defensive scheme.
Yes, sir. Joe, before I let you go, I just want to say shout out the chat, man. I appreciate everyone in here. Jonathan Studios, thank you for stopping by. Buko, appreciate you stopping by. Jaden, Giant Opinion, my man, Big Blue Corner, what's going on, man? My bad, Joe. I'm gonna let you get your thoughts in on Jerry Hughes.
Oh, man, Dan, you're fine. Look, guys, my biggest concern is he a 1 technique? Is he a 3 technique? Is he a 5 technique? Can he play all 3? Could he be moved to even out to the wide 9? I think Wink's going to want somebody that's versatile and a little bit younger because you have to be a sound. It's more than just pressure on the quarterback. We broke down Wink's system, his defense, me and Pat. And there's just so much more to it than just bulling up the middle and getting to the quarterback. You've got gap responsibilities. You got lane responsibilities. And I'm not saying that this guy cannot do it. No way, shape, or form. But if you're looking at Martindale's system, you've got to take all this into consideration because look at how athletic those guys are on that Ravens defense from the front 3 to all the way back to the 2 safeties. That's the one thing that we pointed out was the biggest is these guys have to cover ground and have to cover ground fast. So when you're looking at bringing in somebody that's 33, they might just be a half a step slower. And that half a step with his responsibility, the running back might be able to break it to the outside for a big gain. Because let's face it, Giants fans, when we brought Danny Shelton in, we were kind of like, yeah, okay. You know what? I think he'll be serviceable. Yeah, he was serviceable, all right, putting syrup on the pancakes as he sat on his butt having a picnic on the field, okay? But, people thought that at least he would be a little bit better than what he's shown. And I'm not saying this guy's going to be the same thing either, but those are the worries that go in my head when I start thinking of older players again. And I know we have to get some experienced players, but again, there's some kids that are coming out in this draft in the top 100 to 200 defensive linemen that, I really like. Jaden Peavy, he's out of Texas A&M. He's a 3 technique. You got another kid from Notre Dame, Myron Tagovailoa Mosa. He's a 5 technique. So with somebody like that, a little bit younger, being come in and get developed, maybe on the practice squad, or get a rotational system in there,
Look at
develop
Joe
our
with the
own
correct
players.
pronunciation of the ethnic names.
Yes,
my
I'm
boy
pretty good
Joe.
at that.
I love
Give it
it,
up for
man.
my
Let's
boy
go.
Joe.
Give it up for Joe, man.
And then Arizona State, there's another kid, Jermaine Lowley. Yeah, he's a 3 technique, 6'2", 310 pounds. Athleticism right there. They just need to be trained up a little bit more. And these are guys you're going to be able to get in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Some of them are going to drop. So as far as, again, spending that money, it's going to have to be when we're talking about the cap space this year, it has to be, I don't want to say stable, but it definitely has to be the right move, the right free agent, the right area of the team, whether that's O-line,
Definitely.
whether that's another wide receiver, whether that's another tight end, because we're all going, well, this guy might fit, this guy might fit, this guy might fit. And we all have been harping that the O-line sucks. And there's no way we're going to be able to draft 7 offensive linemen. So that's where this money is more than likely going this year. When we got $90 million next year, then I think you're going to see more moves. You're going to see more talent brought in.
Please highlight that question. Go ahead, finish, Joe.
I am done.
Please
I don't know what I
highlight
can.
big blue corner at 348.
Yes, sir. I got you right now.
If we go offensive lineman and linebacker / cornerback in 1st round with another O-line in 2nd, who do you guys think we could go with if we're looking at edge in the 3rd?
That's a great question, man.
So I want to start off. Sorry. Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
If we go offensive lineman in the 1st, who would we think we'd be targeting in the 3rd round? In the 3rd round, for an edge rusher, it'd probably be Najee Sanders. That's the only edge rusher I could see that's productive that can drop that low.
Okay. I mean, he's a solid player too.
See, this is why I do this draft thing. There's a guy nobody's talking about that could be in the 3rd or the 4th round. He's from Oklahoma, and his name is Nick Benito.
I forgot about Benito.
Since we got Wink Martindale, that guy can do anything that Wink Martindale would need him to do. He can even play linebacker.
He's like Blake Martinez, kind of.
Nick Benito, the edge rusher, yes, he's kind of small, but if you need that lineman that gets a vicious speed rush, a vicious jump off the edge, he can do that for you. He can also back off in coverage and do that for you as well, and he's not afraid to tackle anybody. Benito puts on 5 to 10 pounds.
It's Nico Benito, right?
Yeah, Nick Benito.
Yeah, Nico Benito.
Yeah, Mark, the Blue Giant. He is good. Look up film on him. He's very underrated. And since we got Wink Martindale, he fits us perfectly. He's not a traditional edge rusher. Go get him like a Von Miller or somebody. He can turn into that with some seasoning on him when he comes into the league. But for Wink's system, man, he's perfect. He could do like what Jabril Peppers does. I think he's just as fast as Jabril Peppers, and I think he's stronger and he gets off the line very quick.
I like Kingsley Enigbre, but I don't think he'll be in the 3rd round.
I think Kingsley Enigbre goes late 2nd.
Yeah, I could see
mid
that
to late 2nd.
I could definitely see that, man. Let me. I just want to get to this one question here because I ignored it earlier. Well, not ignore it, but I forgot to get to this earlier. Anthony Barker says, "Will the Giants trade Saquon Barkley?" This has been a topic,
being here, Anthony.
man.
Hit
Thank
that
you,
subscribe
man.
button.
Yeah, I've seen Anthony Barker before.
I haven't seen him before, so please hit the subscribe button for G Nation. Then I would greatly appreciate it.
Yes,
I'm only
sir.
3 away from 700. I'm trying to get there today. Feel me?
Right.
Yep. And their links are in the chat. And if you don't want to scroll up, which I get because the chat is kind of going right now, you can.
I really don't see them trading him this year. Sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Talk your talk.
I really don't see them trading him this year because of his injuries. If anything, if they were going to trade him, they would probably hope that he balls out this year and then try to shop him for a trade. But I'm not hoping for it. I wouldn't like to see it. I would like Saquon Barkley to be a Giant for life. I hope he can come back healthy and ball out this year and sign a good contract that doesn't hurt us financially, but doesn't hurt him neither. And that's just being optimistic. But in the real world, he'll probably ball out this year and they'll probably trade him next season. So who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I'm there with you, man. I don't want to see him go. He is my favorite player on the Giants right now. Actually has been since we've pretty much drafted him. I love the kid a lot. I think when healthy, he's extremely talented. And I think that, I mean, I get it. You know, he was coming off of a serious injury, man. But I just think that those kind of injuries, they take about 2 years, man, to really fully come back to. So I know that he was running a little bit scared, but let's be real, man. I mean, who isn't running scared behind that offensive line? I mean, Booker's a different back. I mean, he's just going to take what you give him, man. But can you really blame Barkley? You
Yeah,
know,
but Booker wasn't coming off of that injury neither.
exactly, man. So I've been really putting my whole name out there with saying I don't want to trade Barkley. I get
Yeah,
it,
me
but
neither.
I don't want to trade this kid. Um, that's just me personally. But Joel, Pat, what are your thoughts on this before we get to the next topic? Because this is a big topic, man. It's going to be very interesting to see what we do with them.
Pat, go ahead because I want to add a couple edge rushers in, so I'll go last. I want to get back to that. People are still talking about it in the chat. So,
Oh yeah, there's plenty of edge rushers out there in the third round that can be had. But as far as the Saquon Barkley thing, it's to be determined. They have him in a plan to get to the 40 million, he's gone. Or if they have him in the plans of helping out Daniel Jones for this year to see what they have, I think is the same approach they take with Daniel Jones, the same approach they take with Saquon Barkley. They're going to see if they got it. We're going to put a good offensive line in front of both of them. Let's see what they do. If Saquon Barkley has a great season and Daniel Jones has a good season, you might see them both get contract extensions. If they don't perform and we look like we did last year, then they both may be gone. I mean, this year is a proven year for both those guys on this team, and that's only fair.
Absolutely.
So if they need that 7.2 million to get to that 40 million, and they get a good trade offer, I'm sorry to say that guy may be gone. I don't want to see him go personally, but I know this is a business, and I know that what they're trying to do. And trade Saquon Barkley brings you draft capital back and saves you 7.2 million. It's a good business decision to me.
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It is.
Just to be honest with you. We all know what this guy's capable of doing, but the 4 years that he's been here, he's been hurt 2.5 of them. So they got to take that into consideration as well. I know he's a fan favorite, and I know he brings a lot of money to the Giants because people love him, and that's true. But do you want to root for somebody just because you love them, or do you want to root for a winning team? And if
You don't trade Saquon to Blue Beast Barkley.
that's that.
if you want a winning team and he helps you bring a good offensive lineman back in return and saves you money, that's something you got to think about. I'm not for it, and I'm not against it. I'm going to wait and see approach with that.
Yep.
This is some bullshit.
Hey, I'm the same way. You know what? The guy is in NY Blue right now. Okay, he's still on the team. I haven't seen any articles come out saying that he's getting traded, the possibility of getting traded. A lot of that's just clickbait that they fired up because the Deshaun Watson thing got shot down in flames when Mara came out and said we're not going to look to trade for Deshaun Watson. So these reporters right now have nothing else to report on, so they're just trying to grasp at straws and get controversy out there so that they got a storyline and go to their editor. Look what I did. That's what it is to me. When it comes out that he's traded, then I'm going to worry about it. As far as right now, he's a member of the New York Giants. And I'm going to root for the kid no matter what. That goes for all Giants players. If I love you, I hate you, I'm still going to root for you. But
yeah, definitely.
You know, going back to these edge rushers, guys, when I say I want a 3-down edge rusher, that's a top 10 pick. When I'm looking in the top 10, top 5 of the draft, and that's where we're picking with 2 picks. I want to do it all defensive end. But now, if you guys want an edge rusher that might shock you, he might be there at the 4th, 5th rounds. I'm going to talk a little bit. Michael Clemens from Texas A&M. He's 6'5", 270. He might be a guy that can definitely be developed. He's got the size. He's got the weight.
Who, Joe?
Mike Clemens from Clemson.
Michael Clemens from Clemson. He's got that 6'5" frame, 270. Yeah, Texas A&M. Then there's another one I was looking at here. Where did he go? LSU, Ali Gay. I've watched him a little bit. He's 6'6", 262. They're both very raw. They'll probably be on the practice. Well, they're going to be third stringers for a while, but they got some decent moves to them. They're not going to be day one starters. That's for damn sure. They're definitely going to take time to develop.
Like Ellison Smith type.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
If you're looking for somebody like that, I mean, like I said, 6'5", but again, a lot of this depends on measurables. Why we got to wait for the combine so much? That's why it's important, because they're saying that Hutchinson's dropping now because he's got short arms. Well, if one of these guys has longer arms than Hutchinson, he's going to jump up 40, 60 spots in the draft board just because he's got long arms. So a guy I'm looking at in the 5th right now could actually be gone in the 3rd. That's how this damn combine is. They just go by all them numbers, and unfortunately, it's all data as to whether a guy is a football player, day one starter, or a bench warmer.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point there, man. Shout out the chat, man. Y'all are making this a lot of fun, man. I appreciate you guys for coming through. I agree with you, Giant Opinion, man. I mean, this is who I really want, man. I know that his stock is falling a little bit. You can see that as smoke. You can take that for what you will. But if you're telling me that 4 teams are questioning this man's heart, I'll tell you what, that 5th team isn't. And that 5th team is the New York Giants, man. Get that kid in blue, man. I'm telling you, man. This is who I really want right here.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard. Yeah.
You want
it's going to be hard. I do.
I want us to trade back that number 5 pick to number 9.
Okay.
And get a 1st round pick for next year, get a 2nd round pick for this year. Right? And with number 9, we can still get possibly a Linderbaum or Ekwonu, maybe Cross, right? Or Karlaftis.
Definitely.
Right? Within that 1 through 9, one of them guys could still be there.
Thank you, Jaden.
And then you can still get a 1st round pick for next year. Then you take that number 7 and you trade it back to number 12 or something. Right? And then with that 12, then you get Linderbaum. Because at 9, people might be like, oh, you reached. So you get Linderbaum at 12. And you get another 2nd round or 3rd round pick for this year. And possibly a 1st round pick for next year. Who knows? But with that, you get some extra 2nd round picks for this draft right here. You can get your edge rushers and your extra linemen right there without taking away from your 9 picks that you had to start with.
Definitely. And thank you, Jaden. That means a lot, man.
So you risk missing the most dominant edge rusher in the class, supposedly, and still get some decent, very good ones that can turn out to be the best edge rusher in the class later on. Because not everybody who's projected to be the best turns out to be the best.
Right.
Absolutely. Right? That's a great point.
Look at what they projected the tackles. And they said we took the worst tackle in the draft in Andrew Thomas. And look how he graded out in comparison to the other tackles of that draft class. So, it's not always based on how they rate them. It's based on whose scheme they end up in and what type of coaching is being done there and what type of teaching is being done there. So,
yeah, I agree with you there, man.
I mean, when it comes to this draft thing, I try to make it as realistic as possible. Trading the 5th and 7th pick, I think that's going to be extremely hard because these quarterbacks aren't like a Herbert or somebody that's willing to trade up and grab them. The only teams I can see trading up to get a quarterback is for Kenny Pickett, and that's if he's there before the Panthers, which are, quote, trying to take Kenny Pickett at 6. Only teams I see trading up is the team that's trying to get Deshaun Watson, and we have a top pick that the Texans would want, so they would trade with us first and then give that pick to the Texans. So say if the Vikings wanted Deshaun Watson, they would trade up to 5 with us, probably give up the first next year. and then maybe like a third this year. They give the number 5 pick to the Texans. Then they have to give up a first a year after that. Man, it's complicated because what if the Texans want a first this year and next year, but you have to give up a first to us next year to get that pick? You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
man.
it's complicated. Do I think they can trade back with somebody like that? Yes. But the most logical trade that I know that can actually make sense is if we want to trade with the Commanders at number 11, if they wanted to trade up and get Kenny Pickett or Malik Willis, or the Steelers at 20. And then if you go 5 to 20, you're probably gonna get around 3 first round picks out of
capital.
that.
Yeah,
absolutely,
with that pick. So say if we drop back from 5 to 20 at the number 7 pick, I think they take best available, whether Kwanu somehow falls to number 7, or I think they take Devin Lloyd right there at number 7 if they're still there. Maybe it's a Karlaftis.
I'd love that.
I know a lot of people don't know about Karlaftis, but do your research. That dude's a monster.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
And then at number 20,
where I'm from, Marcy, son, ain't nothing nice.
Then at number 20, maybe a Charles Cross somehow does fall to number 20, or a Linderbaum does fall to 20, or a Zion Johnson. Maybe you take him right there if you need an inside interior lineman. But trading back to number 9 and then number 12, I don't see that feasible. Not to knock what Lou is saying. I just don't think that will be realistic because this draft with the quarterbacks is not. I would sit there and just wait because one of those guys may just fall to me.
Oh, save this video, Hit Squad. Save this video because if we trade the number 5 and the number 7, I'm gonna pull it up as a receipt. I agree though. I agree with him though. It is gonna be very hard to pull off because these quarterbacks ain't nothing to really trade up for. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a team that's desperately in need of a quarterback, which Pittsburgh is. The Texans might be. The Denver Broncos are interested in a quarterback. Carolina. So, there's some potential. It's just the deals have to fit for both teams in order for it to take place. So,
yeah, definitely, man. And honestly, D-Mac, I agree with you there. I know that's kind of going out on a limb, but I got to be real with you, man. If Kayvon is coming off that line with Ojulari.
I'm sorry, Hit Squad. Shout out to Mac. Almost at 18,000 views on that video right now.
I'm telling you.
Damn.
Congrats, man. Shout out Mac the Giants fan.
He's going, man. That view is going over 20,000. I expect it to reach 30.
Let me do this real quick. Hold on real quick. Y'all boys go sub up to Mac the Giants fan, man. He almost at 300 subs. He is so close. Please do me the favor.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Go hit that subscribe button on Mac the Giants fan. He's part of the Big Blue crew, man. He's doing some great things. Go hit that sub, man. But yeah, D-Mac. If Kayvon is on this team, man, I'm telling you, man, Kayvon and Ojulari would be so dominant. Now it's just gonna come down to what does Wink prefer? Is he going to want to go edge rusher? Would he want a linebacker? Would he want a corner? It's going to be very interesting, but I just can't pass on Kayvon if he's there at 5. Giant Opinion says our second round pick has value too. You could get some extra picks moving back there. That's
you
very
part of the
true.
crew, brother. That's why.
Exactly, bro.
Right.
Exactly. D-Mac says Kayvon will be a Giant. Before I answer your question, big D-Mac Warrior, because I see your question here on Karlaftis or Kayvon. Let me get to Jaden Alvis's comment here. He says, Big Blue Crew, the best crew on YouTube, ain't nothing new.
I like it. I like it.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Man,
yes,
is my 2 weeks up yet? Damn it! I want to sing too.
You're still grounded.
You listen. You grounded until you stop going fishing, bro.
Oh, right.
I don't know, bro. You in purgatory right now. You ain't even on grounded, man.
Man, Joel in the gulag, man.
Russian prison, the Russian stockade. The gulag.
Nah,
gulag, man.
Bro, I heard Joel in horny prison right now. Anyway,
D-Mac says, the Roadhead.
That's a damn good question, though, Hit.
Hey, I am G-Nation, the Lord of Roadhead.
Exactly. Lord Roadhead.
My lord.
My lord. D-Mac says Karlaftis or Kayvon. Who would you pick at 5? That's hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. Karlaftis has been growing on me, man, in the last 2 weeks. I really like his game, man. Yeah, pause on that. I really like his game, man. I mean, I definitely understand why there's some fans that kind of put him over Kayvon. But let me get your guys' thoughts, man. I mean, who would you select if you got that GM hat on and you're at 5?
Thanks for the support.
Facts, man. Facts.
Well, I'll start this off here. I'm going Karlaftis. Now, if I want a third down pass rusher, right now, I want the best pass rusher for third down there is. I'm taking Kayvon. Kayvon has.
I'm pumped, man. 20,000 views, man. I'm telling you. I told you, man. I told you that shit was going.
Let's go.
It's great. I love it. Look, if I want a pass rusher, that's all I want to bring in here right now. I'm going with Thibodeau. He is the number 1 edge pass rusher, hands down. That guy's going to be a third down monster. But if I want a more sculptured player that can play the run and the pass and the RPO, check out Karlaftis' videos, man. This guy knows how to play that RPO. He stays home. He sets the edges in the run game. He does a lot more than just rush the passer. And Karlaftis has a bull rush where if you stunt him, he's going to be able to take out these guards and centers and split a double team.
Is why his squad's going to go. Joel's going to go. Pat's already going. Mac is going to go. This is why. This comment right here.
Love the energy.
Right? Everybody has a good vibe. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's vibing. Everybody's having fun. There's no debating. There's no dumb, unnecessary shit. This is why we're growing where we're growing. And this is why people like to come and be a part of the Big Blue Crew streams. Because it's fun, it's energetic. You can feel the love, you can feel the vibe, you can feel the passion for the team, whatever sport we're talking about, whether it's boxing, whether it's wrestling, whether it's football. Joel's going to get into the hockey, whether it's March Madness, which we're going to do here in a moment. UFC, it's the passion for the sports. It's the vibe we have with each other. It's the communication, the way we keep it going with the chat. Thank you, D-Mac Warrior. We greatly appreciate you and everybody in the chat. Sub up to Hit Squad Productions, Classified 3F with Joe.
Thank you.
Big Pat Sports Talk, and myself, G Nation, the Lord of Roadhead. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. the Lord of the Roadhead. We got Classified with Joe, which the only thing classified is some fishing trips. But yes,
that's right.
Take it away, man.
I am the Lord. I am the Lord of the doggy style position. I said she rolls over and plays dead. Okay.
Yeah, because she want to go home, dog. She don't want to be fishing.
Exactly.
But man, this is the Big Blue Crew, people. Man, we love doing this for you guys. Joe, were you done with your Karlaftis tape?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Shit.
Like I said,
I just got Joel's name. He is Classified 3F with Joe, Lord of the Big Blue Balls.
Hey, wait a minute.
No.
Wait a minute. Did I hear a little jealousy in there? Because I got big balls.
Hey,
I said you got blue balls because you said you ain't getting none.
Well,
I can't. Y'all are too much.
Oh
man.
my God.
I can't with you.
So I got me a pair of Smurfs in my pants. All right.
I can't. Y'all are too funny, man. Y'all are too funny.
Man, let's get back to the damn
question. Yeah, exactly, man. Let me re-highlight this again. All right,
man.
Yeah,
my take on it. Here's my take on it. It just depends.
I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I had to mute myself because I'm dying back here. But yeah.
I will gladly take the nickname of Smurf. Okay, no freaking problem. I'll roll with that.
Lord of the Big Blue Balls. Man,
call me Smurfy.
I can't wait for my name. But look, if it's down to Karlaftis,
Oh shit!
I have checked out Charles Cross, Big Blue in the Bronx. I think he's the most balanced tackle out of the big three. But if it comes down between Karlaftis and Kayvon, I gotta go with Karlaftis. I gotta go with Karlaftis. Reason why? I think Karlaftis can give you great pass rush, but like Joe said, I think he's more balanced when it comes to the run game and those RPO. We have RPO quarterbacks in the NFC East.
Damn sure do.
And I think he plays, man. When you look at Karlaftis, when he plays that RPO, he plays it perfectly. I think he plays it better than Hutchinson, to be honest with you. And Karlaftis in his defense, we could set him at the defensive tackle. We could set him at the edge. We could stand him up. We could do all that and know that we won't lose anything in the run game if we put him in there. And that's the only reason why I would choose Karlaftis over Kayvon. What's going on, Adam?
What is up, Adam? What's up, chat? I appreciate y'all stopping through, man. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I mean that's the only reason why I would take Karlaftis over Kayvon Thibodeau, because I think he gives me more value as a whole defensive player. Because with Wink's system, and only because of Wink's system,
right,
I choose Karlaftis, because you don't have to have a major super edge rusher in Wink's system because they fabricate pressure. They don't just depend on edges to get pressure. They depend on blitz schemes and bringing people that you don't even see. So I take Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, not Thibodeau, but I'll take Karlaftis over Kayvon Thibodeau right now at number 5 if we had to stick with number 5. For right now.
Yeah,
that's what I'm taking.
I'm there with you, man. I love Karlaftis. Like, again, he has been growing on me. Pause. But I definitely see the hype. You know, I think that he's solid. The only thing that kind of drew me back a little bit, and shout out Ash Money because he actually retweeted it. But I believe it was Jeremy Rucker, man, got a solid, block on this dude and kind of make him look stupid. I'm not even gonna lie. So that's a little concerning, considering you had the Kittles in the league, you got the Wallers, you got the Kelseys in the league that can block. So can he shed a block off of a tight end that's bigger than Jeremy Rucker, stronger than Jeremy Rucker? I got a little questions there, but I agree. You really can't go wrong either way. I got to highlight this, man. I'm so sorry. Jaden, you a fool, man. He says Big Blue Crew dropping nuts on you.
Yes.
I can't.
Hey, I would like to answer Jonathan Studios' last chat at 3:14.
Yeah, I got you.
You guys time?
Yes, sir. I got you right here.
He says Karlaftis don't have enough ass, pause, to slide inside to a 4-2-5 defensive tackle. Let me tell you this. Wink's system allows us to put him right there. You guys are basing it like we're just a traditional 4 defensive lineman going across the board. If it's like that, I'm taking Tibbs all day. But this is not a traditional defense,
right?
That we're working with Wink's system. I believe Karlaftis can play any position in Wink's system because it allows you to do that. You're not putting him there to take on a double team right there. You're putting him there to shoot the gap between 2 people real fast while somebody else sneaks in behind them and gets pressure on the quarterback. Calais Campbell's not the hugest defensive 4-2-5 defensive tackle either. And he's perfect for that system because he knows how to shoot that gap and he gets a great start off from the beginning. And with Karlaftis jump in the middle of that defensive line, and you got somebody like a Xavier McKinney coming behind him because he's taking 2 people because they have to try to combine on him to stop him from getting to the quarterback immediately, and then we wrap somebody behind there, and then we have somebody else coming off the edge. This is not a traditional defense. This is not a traditional defense. That's what I would take.
Breaking news
over this right now.
Sorry, Pat. Breaking news. Brian Flores hired as Steelers senior defensive assistant.
Hey, that's huge, man.
And we'll continue with his class action lawsuit, but we're not going to talk about that. I just wanted to break the news that Brian Flores did get a job in the NFL still while currently suing them.
And
that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I thought that would be a good spot for him to chill out. He's over there with Mike Tomlin. thankfully he got another job in the NFL. He's still able to support his family.
Facts,
And it's the
facts.
Learn
senior
under a
defensive.
great Hall of Fame coach while he's there. He can
Yeah.
learn under a great Hall of Fame coach in Mike Tomlin. Because while he's still in the league, I know he's not eligible, but that man has had that team in the running every year he has been there.
Mhm.
Right.
Hell of a damn coach.
Facts. I agree with you there, man. But continue, Pat. What you were saying?
I mean, yeah, I'm seeing in the comments, JOS. I love his comments. He says, "You pass on Thibodeau for Karlaftis. Get ready for the unemployment line." That's not true. That's not true. I'll take that shot with Karlaftis in this system than Thibodeau. I'm not saying you guys are saying that. You guys are acting like I'm saying Thibodeau was sorry. No, I'm picking a guy because I know
He fits
that this
Wink's
guy,
scheme better.
yeah, he
That's
fits
it.
Wink's system very well, and he plays that RPO very well. And we have nothing but RPO quarterbacks in our division. If Malik Willis goes to the Washington Commanders, guess what? That's the third RPO quarterback, and that dude plays it immaculately. He plays it immaculately. And Karlaftis is very strong, and he's very quick off the ball. You guys better study some film on Karlaftis, man. He's gonna show some.
But
guys.
I'm about
Whoever
to do a
drafts
shameless
that kid-
plug right now. Tonight, make sure y'all tune in for the leather to the face. Amir Khan versus Kell Brook is going to be a good fight.
Yes.
We're also doing the preliminary and the undercard fights. It's going to be a good night of leather to the face. A 1-2, a 1-2, a 1-2, a 1-2.
right.
Gonna be a
Boom,
whole
boom, boom,
lot
boom,
of
boom,
fun.
boom.
What time to start? I think it started what 7 my time or 8 my time.
Yeah. 9
I
o'clock
can't wait
East
to
Coast.
do that.
Yes. And to everyone in the chat now, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that sub button, join the Hit Squad. These 3 great content creators, their links are in the bio. Go show them some love. Pat just passed 1,000. He doing big things. Lou close to 700, man. He is literally 3 away. Y'all are watching this. While you are watching this, right click it and go subscribe to G Nation. Go
Please,
subscribe to Joel, man.
Subscribe
Come
to
on,
my
man.
channel, man.
Hey,
Help
hey,
me
right.
out. Yeah.
Showing
Lou
love is
tonight.
showing love is free, man. Don't be cheap. All right, man.
Lou tonight doing leather to the face. We're gonna watch somebody get put in their place, and then we're gonna be in the boxing halls, and Joel can sit on his big blue balls. Yeah, all right.
Bars.
Okay. All right.
Bars and balls is in the building.
I didn't
blue bar/balls.
I can't. We got the real classified shady.
Oh,
Yeah, man. Nah, boy.
Classified shady.
Classified shady.
man.
My God. You looking like you just came out of 8
They
Mile,
call
boy.
me Ball Shady.
I can't,
back.
man.
Blue
6'4",
ball
275
Shady.
is not small, people. But I understand where you guys are coming from. Make all the jokes that you want, but I'm telling you, that guy fits Wink's system better than what
Holy shit.
Thibodeau does right now.
Now, I wanted to highlight this because, Pat, I know you are deep involved when it comes with these mock drafts. Same with you, Joel and Lou. What are your guys' thoughts on this kid? I've heard of
I'll
him.
tell you right now my thoughts on him. Dylan, and Dylan. Because he spit hot fire.
Habibi. All right. But what do y'all think of this Dylan kid, man? He's been on my radar, but I want to do more research before I form a solid opinion on him instead of talking out my ass. So let me get y'all thoughts on this kid, man.
didn't he play in the Senior Bowl?
Yes, and he got 8 up in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, I thought I remembered him.
He's a project. Now don't get it twisted. I still think he goes in between the 3rd and 4th round, but he's a project right now.
I believe
drafted him.
Chris Bucco. Go ahead, Pat. Sorry.
He said Trayvon Walker getting drafted. I think Trayvon Walker does go up draft boards after his combine. I'm not gonna lie to you, Bucco, but he's a project player. He reminds me of almost Pert at the guard position, to be honest with you, because he's a major project player. But if you have a good offensive line coach that could teach him the tricks of the trade, he may turn out to be pretty damn good. At the Senior Bowl, he was getting 8 up. Just being honest with you.
There you go, man. Big Blue in the Bronx. You got your thoughts there. Again, I wanted to do more research on this kid. He is on my radar, but I just didn't want to, just talk just to talk, man. But he's looking like a solid player from what I've seen. I think he could get him in the third round. Would a team in the
Yeah.
late second maybe want to reach?
I'm sorry, the chat.
Look at
Yeah, Big Blue in the Bronx.
It was
Oh
Big
my
Blue
God.
Paws need Manscaped. I do a podcast. Hey yo, shout out Big Blue in the Bronx, man. This kid crazy. Go sub up this kid, man. I love him, man. He made great content, man.
oh my
Um,
God.
hey yo,
Only with the
shout out
Big Blue
Slay,
crew
man.
do you
That's
have
right.
streams like this.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying, man. Shout
That's
out
right.
Slay. You
Go
lucky I can't boot you out here
highlight
like Pat do. But
highlight Jaden Alvis right above that Big Blue in the Bronx.
Right. Don't be a tweener. Shave your wiener.
He
Okay.
said my girl had to come in and ask if I was okay because of how loud I'm laughing.
Laughing.
Well, thank you. Hit that
Damn.
subscribe button
All
to
right.
all of these guys on the
Right.
panel.
oh man, y'all are killing me, man. This is great. We're gonna keep this going, man.
God.
I'm gonna get to one more question that I had via DM on Twitter, and I was actually gonna make a video on this kid. I think that there's if we're gonna make any signing in terms of a big splash, which again, take that for what you will. I think it will be a player like this of his caliber. He says, "What do you think of Austin Corbett from the Los Angeles Rams?" The Rams right now are looking to try to keep as many players as they can, but we all know some players will fall through the cracks. Could you see the Giants making a move on him? He's 26 years old and weighs over 300 pounds. Um, yeah, man, that's a great question, James. Thank you so much for DMing me on Twitter about that. Listen, I mean, we need all the help that we can on this offensive line, right? And I think that, with how we attack free agency, it's going to tell us a little bit of how we attack the draft. Now, if we could get a player like Austin Corbett, who, again, I know he's 26. He is over 300 pounds. He's 6'4". He's been in the league, I believe, for about 4 years now. I mean, he's a solid guard. And I think that, if we can bring him in, it's definitely an upgrade over Will Hernandez, who unfortunately we all know hasn't panned out for us. um, I know that from what I've seen, a lot of people kind of question his feet. I don't really see that as an issue. I think that he has some strength to him, and I just think right now we need as much help as we can on the offensive line. I know that we all have our individual takes on players that maybe we could look at in free agency in terms of offensive linemen. But do you guys have any thoughts on Austin Corbett and potentially us picking him up in free agency?
I know my boy GOS is firing everybody. My
I
nigga said
know.
everybody gonna be at the unemployment.
Bro, you getting fired. You getting fired. You getting fired.
Right.
Man, GOS, I
And
love you, man, but you scaring me here.
I lost my GM job. I lost my scout job. Man, I've been fired twice in one stream. That's crazy.
What am I gonna do?
Well, no, that
My
was
balls are
Buko saying that
blue.
Trayvon Walker is gonna get hired before Karlaftis, and then he told him, well, whoever hires him before Karlaftis is gonna be with Pat at the unemployment office.
Right. It's all good, man. But Austin Corbett, I think he's gonna cost between the $12 to $15 million range. I don't know. It just depends on how they feel about it. If they do sign him, I'm not gonna be like, oh, that's so stupid, because we need linemen. So if they can get him the $12 to $15 million range in this first year, it's only gonna cost us about $8 million. Hey, you get a Pro Bowl guard, hey, that's cool with me. So it just depends. All I know is they have a plan for whatever they're doing. We can trust this regime to have a plan for whatever they're doing. Now,
Absolutely.
whether the plan works, it'll remain to be seen. I'm not against it, but I'm not going to be shooting for us to sign the top offensive lineman in free agency, because it hasn't worked out for us recently, but it's a new regime, so who knows how it works out. And I don't even think that's their style, to be honest with you, so I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you there, man. I'm not. I'm still trying to figure out how does this guy operate in Joe Shane, because we know he doesn't want to kick the can down the field. You know that he wants to free up cap space. We know that he tries to go best player available in the draft. He finds talent later in drafts. We've seen how they've panned out in free agency as well with the few players that they've brought in. But I mean, in terms of answering your question, Jaden, I think that if is it talent, is it scheme? I think you can make an argument for both. I mean, that offensive line there for the Rams is a solid offensive line. Now, how much is that, with Sean McVay's offense and the trickery that he has? I mean, that's again, you can make an argument for that. But I do think that he is a talented kid. I think that if there is going to be some players that the Rams do look to build to bring back, he potentially could be one, considering they don't have many draft picks. So would they, want to risk, losing players on that offensive line where they may already lose Andrew Whitworth to retirement? I don't know. So, but for me, man, I mean, Austin Corbett, I think that he's a solid player. And again, honestly, I don't want to exaggerate with this one, but I just think that, I mean, whoever we bring in, it's got to be better than what we had last year on this line. It really, I hope it can't be worse than what we saw on the field, man. It could be, but I just hope it isn't.
I agree. And then there was a name that come out the other day, and I was looking at him, the guard for the Bears, James Daniels. Look, I did a little research on him, not a lot, but yeah, he's young and athletic, and he can cut off defenders and climb to the second level. As an interior guy, that's what you want. You need somebody inside that can pull. Like if you want to run a trap, if you want to, you want to run a jet sweep to the right, you got to have a lineman that can get out there, who's fast, who's mobile, who's agile, and can stay somewhat ahead of the guy that's running the football. Give him a lane to run into. Let him make a cut. Help you out with the blocking. Right now, I don't know what he's gonna cost in free agency, but I'm kind of looking at somebody like that right now because he would definitely be a day one starter. But the problem is money wise. That's our biggest question right now is what are these guys going to demand? Because I don't see the Bears wanting to let him go.
Just depends.
Right.
Yeah, my bad, man. I was trying to fix my microphone. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
He kicked himself out his own damn show.
Nah, it was man. I have a cat who likes to play with wires, man, and y'all y'all know how that is, man. So
we've all seen Christmas Vacation.
I don't know nothing about that. I don't like cats.
Yeah, my little man. Well, not my little man. He big as hell, but he loves ripping down my wires when he can. But yeah, man, I apologize for that if I missed what you were saying, Joe. So I definitely do apologize. Giant Opinion says he has a great first hand and a nice first step, but I ain't seeing the pass rush moves or bend. I'm not too sure, man. I mean, I think that I don't want to say any player we bring in will be better than what we have. I don't want to say that, but I do think that a player like Austin Corbett would be a solid player that you can bring in. If you're gonna make any splash, which again, if you have 40 million, you got to think that either they're going to put some of that money towards, in-season moves, or whether you pick up some players before, the league starts. Hopefully we don't do what we did last year, which I don't see that happening. Making the mistake of not really addressing the O-line and waiting until a week before the damn season starts. I don't see that happening, but I think that Corbett could be a good fit here. There's definitely a lot of other guards. And one thing that I've been seeing a lot of Giants fans catch on to. Not to interrupt you, Joel. I apologize.
Giants Opinion Sports here was talking about Trayvon Walker.
Oh, Trayvon Walker. Okay,
yes.
Gotcha.
Yes.
See, that's what happens when the microphone gets ripped out and I can't hear nothing. So definitely apologize there. I thought we were talking about Austin Corbett still.
No, I brought up James Daniels from the Bears, the interior line. I thought he would be a good fit, and Giants Opinion Sports was like, James Daniels would be great. And then he says underneath that he's projected to make $6 to $8 million a season, Joel, but who knows in free agency. Look, if I could get Jamie Daniels for $6 million a year and his first year cap hit is only $2 or $3 million, I think I'd be up for that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Facts. I'm there with you.
Because he's going to be the day one starter in there. And then if we did get Linderbaum, you got some experience. You got a rookie center, getting that development. I'd give him a 3-year contract. This guy's still freaking young, man. I think he's only 27.
Mm-hmm.
So give him a 4-year contract, 27 mil. Front load that son of a bitch, 15 mil.
Yeah, I mean, he did pretty solid with the Bears. So I think that you could definitely, pick him up. But if I'm Chicago, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm trying to save as many players on that O-line and attack the O-line because I don't have a first rounder.
Right.
I mean, I watched a couple Bears games last year because I'm really interested to see how Justin Fields pans out. And that dude was getting killed back there, man.
Yeah, he was.
Slaughtered, man.
24.
So,
Damn, Chris. Yeah, I definitely
know,
offer him. I'd offer him some money.
but 6 to 8 million, man. I mean, that's not bad for the production that you get, and it's all predicated to, at least for me, is Gates gonna come back? I know he was working out, and that's great to see,
Right.
but that's a lot of surgeries, man.
Not
Yes.
bloody likely.
I just don't see. If I'm Gates, I know I'm competitive. I'm a competitor in my heart, but I mean, you a big man. You putting a lot of weight on that leg, man.
Yes.
So
And
I hope he comes
smacking
back.
up
but-
against another big man.
Exactly, dude. So it may not be, within the best interest, for Nick Gates. But if he comes back, I'm absolutely support him, man.
Oh, I mean,
Absolutely.
if he can play, yeah.
Yeah. At a worst case, it's depth. At a worst case.
Right.
Unless, I mean, I guess at a worst case he's gone. But in his scenario, if he's playing at a depth position, I mean, you still got him on a pretty solid contract, very cost effective. And again, we could always attack whether that's in free agency or in the draft. But let me see here. He says, I think even younger, 24, I think. Yeah, if we're
Wow.
talking about James Daniels, man, yeah, he is a young player, man. I mean,
Right.
it's kind of crazy how young he is compared to like when they drafted him because they selected him in 2018. But yeah, he is 24. I'm actually older than him by like a whole year.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, I
He's
definitely offer that
24.
kid some. I'd offer him 6-8 million.
Absolutely, man. And what kind of sold me on James Daniels, man, is that you've had people come out, and I'm not just saying, just anyone, man. I mean, you've had Hall of Fame execs. I mean, this is coming off of Sports Mockery, and they're pretty credible for Chicago Bears news. But they've had Hall of Fame executives urge the Bears to keep James Daniels in Chicago's because they believe that he's one of the few bright spots to that offensive line. I mean, if he's going to test free agency, someone will throw a bag at him. But
Yes.
this is a pretty good market for offensive guard. This is a good market for tight ends as well. We were talking about that earlier. So it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, I know that, right now we are in a rebuilding mode, but I've been saying this. I don't think we're that far off. I know that we're rebuilding, but we got pieces we can build here. We do need some depth. We do have some holes. I'm not going to say that we don't, but I think that bringing a player like James Daniels, that is a big upgrade. And I've been talking about Austin Corbett, but that's a big upgrade right there in terms of big talent at your offensive line. But look, guys, we are here at the hour mark. You guys know we try to keep these shows about an hour long, man. I'm so blessed to be doing this with my brothers, man. Please, again, check out Big Pat Sports. He's below me. GNATION Goya to the bottom right. We got Classified Nuts to the left of me. I mean, we got everything, man. We got everything in here. Their links are in the description, man. What are y'all doing?
Man, I froze.
Yeah, you're froze, man. But it's all good. We know those
the big blue balls up there.
Yeah.
Call them classified nuts.
Oh man, y'all. God. Okay.
Nah, man, it's all love, man. But look, subscribe to the crew, man. Join the Big Blue crew. Click that subscribe button. You guys know that it's all love. It's all vibes. GOS, Big Blue Corner. We also have a segment with them called the Big Blue Topic. We're going to be doing more episodes of that. You guys already know the Big Blue crew got y'all with anything New York Giants related. Boxing. We're going to be rolling out some basketball, college stuff. I mean, man, we got Joel just disappeared like a ghost.
His computer's acting up.
But nah, man, look, subscribe to these guys, man. I appreciate every single one of you. Pat,
Giants Opinion Sports said Joel's internet ain't getting none either.
Hey, GOS. Hey, shout out to GOS for the chat.
Yeah, God damn.
He won today. GOS won in the chat today.
That man firing everyone, coming at people's nuts.
That
Pause.
motherfucker. Bring that comment back up so Joe can see it. You kicked yourself off, and he said Joe's internet ain't getting none either.
Y'all are crazy, man. Look, man, y'all know the vibes. Y'all know how we do it around here. I appreciate the support, man. Please, again, subscribe to these great guys.
To Hit Squad.
Thank you, man.
To Classified with Joe, the Lord of the Big Blue Balls.
That's right.
Subscribe to Big Pat Sports Talk.
Smurf.
Man, y'all already know how it is.
GNATION,
Wait till you see my next background, guys.
I'm
I
am actually kind of terrified, man.
You gotta wait till you get out the gulag to bring that one out, bro.
I already
could have added some weeks to your sentence. I already know that picture's gonna be horrible.
Man.
Oh yeah.
Listen, man.
I know that picture's gonna be epic.
Joel, as your lawyer in horny court, we're gonna try to get you free, man. I promise.
No, listen. You know what? People getting rich off of pictures now. Them shit's called NFTs.
Yeah,
right.
I love it, man. Look, listen. I appreciate y'all, man. We gonna end this out here. Hit Squad.